Well then let's just get straight to the theme.
Okay.
Sorry, I got to go a little extra with that one because I can't do it that way on the sneaker show that we shoot. You know? Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to episode number 178 of Kasson Avenue.
Is it 179?
No, it's 178. I
Oh, you wrote it on the board.
I wrote it on the paper.
I wrote it on the board. It's got to be true.
Thank you all for tuning in. I'm your host Adam here with my brother Osama and the dog, which you can't.
Osama and the dog.
You can't see again. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and follow us in all the places that we would like you to follow us at, which is pretty much everywhere we are, you know, except for like in real life, in person.
Don't follow us unknowingly.
But like, don't follow us.
Even knowingly, don't follow me.
If you see me in person, don't follow me. It's like
You ever be walking?
you know, the ambulance says like keep 500 feet back or some shit like that.
Yeah,
like,
but
do that.
but why would I do that? Behind you is the best place to go because I can get through everything.
Pause all that. But
Okay.
you're talking about for the ambulance.
Well,
You
listen.
gotta specify.
Anyway, listen. So you said following. You ever been walking, right? And not
Sometimes.
and not well, yeah, okay. Sometimes I walk. No, and not be the person that feels like somebody's following you, but like because you have to go to the same place somebody else is going in front. Like
And
that's
you feel like you're following them.
You're like, dude, I just want to let you know I'm not following you. Right? Like, how do you you feel uncomfortable for them, and even if they haven't thought about it, you're just like, man, they probably feel like I'm following them. I just
Where
gotta
that
go-
often happens in the
I'm just
car.
going to Target too, bitch.
If I'm
Oh,
bitching
you're
at-
going to the men's section to get white tee? You're going to the women's section? I happen to be going there too.
If I'm like yelling at somebody in the car because they did something stupid, like I'm not crazy like I used to be, but like if I'm like, you stupid cocksucker, what the fuck is you doing? Then like I'm like following them, but I'm actually going to my location, and it just looks like I'm like, oh, he's pissed and he's trying to follow me. Like, no, I'm not. I don't care enough about you to follow you. Just so we're clear, you know. Like if you hit my car, then I might follow you because fuck you doing,
I mean,
you know?
rightfully so, I would say.
But I'm just saying, like that's the only scenario in which I'm chasing anybody.
Do you ever feel weird like when you're? But I mean, it is funny though. Like you'd be like, man, every turn, it like so. They do what I would assume people in movies who are thinking they're getting following does, or when they feel like they're getting tailed, they're trying to get them off their backs, right? They're making left turns, right turns, dip down alleys, park, whatever they do. I feel like some days somehow you'll be like, man, why am I? I'll be like, again, I'm following this. I don't even know that I'm following him, but I guess I got somewhere to be with him later on. Like, I mean, maybe we have to be at the same place.
That happens. Like if you're going to Six Flags.
No, you ever been going to a party, right? And you happen to be like I've been
every turn with the person.
yeah,
in front
like
of you.
you're turning off the main street, but but going down a one way to come around the next one, and then you park on the same block, and then you end up going into the same party house, and you're just like,
that's kind of a fun game. If you think you're like making all
that's
the
a
same
fun game.
if you think
I think that's a dangerously close. That's dangerously close to stalking, brother.
if you're making all the same turns as somebody and you're headed somewhere and you're like, oh, maybe this person's going to the same place. Just turn off your GPS and just follow him and see if he brings you to where
See
you're
if he
going.
brings. That's a fun game. That's a fun game to you.
I mean, obviously, if you've gone too far and you're like, all right, I got to stop following this guy. But you never know. I mean, the road. What did he say in Harold and Kumar? Neil Patrick Harris. He's like, this is where the road took me. You never know where you're gonna end up. You just follow the winding road.
It's kind of like how Forrest Gump took to running.
Yeah.
He just I ran, to the end of the block.
He was like, all right, I'm done. I'm good. He just turned around and walked.
They were just, and everybody was just like, what the fuck do
He was
we
like
do
8
here?
states away and shit from where he started. He was on a journey.
Man, running sucks.
It does.
You ever try to say like I'm gonna run today and then go try to run? And
I've done it a couple times,
It just turns to walking off of the treadmill.
It's never been something that like I got in the habit of, even for a short period of time.
No, I fucking hate running.
No.
I mean, you should. It's good for your cardio. I mean, there's other things for your cardio, but running, yeah, I guess, based on the science.
They actually say that running, like, if you're trying to do cardio,
Was that? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm like,
well, if you're holding the cord where it's connected,
you
it would
you
also
ever
have
you ever take a
inverse-
bottle and be like, like get like a glass bottle?
We got to place spoons on like cups with the different levels of water in them.
Well, what's more impressive to you, being able to like blow the bottle, pause, or dingling the bottle, pause?
All of that is just terrible.
I mean, that's kind of like what
I
you
think
ding
being
ding ding ding.
I think being able to play the different leveled cups, it's like a xylophone.
Different level cups.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
like you fill up cups with different levels of water in them, and that's how you make the different noises.
See, that's too much work. If
You
I
ju-
got
that's the ding-a-ling,
if I have a glass bottle and
Yeah.
it's empty and I take the cap off, it's now an
It
instrument.
only makes one noise,
I don't have to go get 17 other bottles.
but it makes one noise. How long?
Yeah,
can
but
do
you
that
can
for?
manipulate the noise a little bit.
Not really.
Yeah, you can.
Anyway, listen. I was listening to some guy about exercise shit because I'm trying to get back on my fitness, and he was like, if you're trying to burn fat, that cardio is the worst way to go about it.
You
should
got to go
stop that.
stand next to a fire.
He said because if you're doing cardio, then it like releases like what is it, cortisol or cortisone or some shit like that. And he's like, it's a stress hormone. So he's like, when your body's under stress, then it tends to store fat. So he's like, you're kind of doing the opposite of what you need to be doing.
Well, the difference between
Science, bitch.
for me, running is stupid. But
I only enjoyed
Have you
it
ever seen
in
the
a
difference
basketball
in-
situation, and I haven't done that in some
have you ever
time.
seen the difference in a distance runner compared to like a sprinter? Like sprinters be having fucking massive legs, and like distance runners be looking like they're sickly and running to.
But that's
their
why I
next
say
meal.
if you're gonna do it, you do like interval training. You know,
Yeah. Oh, and then you slow down. Oh, and then you slow down again.
gotta run like somebody's chasing you with a syringe full of poison.
You know what? Hey,
Was that-
so honestly, yesterday, me and Vivi went to go get some food, right? And where we went, I guess it was pretty busy, like, but was tapering off as we got there. So I'm like, there's no fucking parking outside. So I try to find a spot. I'm like, oh, I'll park here. And it was like on a speed hump. And I don't really like to park while my car's on a speed hump. I don't like that for my car.
I don't even like it on my driveway when it has a slight.
Yeah, that's why I don't
incline,
park in your stupid driveway.
There's a whole space for you right out there.
There was, but I didn't use it
Well,
because it's a stupid driveway.
all driveways for the most part have that.
I
Some
thought you were
kind
gonna
of
say they're
incline.
stupid. I was like, some are intelligent.
Well, if
So-
they all have a curve and you think it's stupid because they have an angle, then they're all stupid technically.
Anyway, so we get out, we park a little ways away, and we're right in front of the spot. I'm like, is that a spot? Like right in front. She's like, yeah. I was like, I'll be back. She's like, no. I was like, too late, right? So she goes inside. And the point of this story is I jogged all the way to the car, right? Now, for number one, it was way further than I remembered, right? Now, we had just parked there, but it was way further than I remember.
Did you guys eat there?
Yeah.
See, so you know what? When you go to a restaurant to eat inside, like sometimes it's kind of a good idea to park like a block or two away.
No, it's not.
You get a little like digestion.
No,
in
I
before
get
you
I
sit
get
down.
enough. I get enough of that. Don't worry about that. I'm not. I was more concerned about parking closer. So I jogged the whole way, and then for the number two of that one,
for the two
for two, I was pretty impressed by myself. I was like, man, that jog didn't even faze me. Now, I know what you may say. Like, hey, you say you work out, it shouldn't
Try to
faze you.
pride yourself on being in physical condition. That's
No, well, we know that the first time we both get on a basketball court after some time,
We're gonna die.
It feels like somebody's been punching
But
me in the
also-
chest the whole way down the court.
also I don't even know like until the day that I can breathe successfully for like a full day. I'm not even gonna get on a court other than just to toss a few shots up.
So explain to me what this breathing thing is. Then explain to me what you feel. Like, what is it like? Is it shortness of breath? Like, how does it feel? Does it feel like if I were to like open chest you right now, bam, right in the fucking chest, like as hard as I fucking could. While
It's as though it's like a mild version of like getting the wind knocked out of you without having to experience a knocking.
so what? What do you feel? Like, what's the?
So all right, listen, like from where it was last July when it started, it's mild it out, right? Like I can talk without.
For number
feeling
one,
like
that's not a term, but go ahead. Milded.
Well, if you could say wild out, why can't I say mild out?
I got me some milded sauce. They milded it. They milded it.
If you can say wild out, then you could say mild out.
Yeah, that's false reasoning.
What you talking about?
Flawed reasoning.
It rhymes, so it works. Anyway, yeah, it started off at the point where like it was more of a regular like gasp for air. You know what I mean? Like the weird thing is, again, I told you my oxygen levels were all
Gasp
perfectly fine.
how? Like you were just sitting there, just like, like you did that.
In order for me to like feel like I have a satisfying breath, it would be like that. So I could still breathe normally, and I wasn't gonna pass out or anything because I had like my oxygen level still fine. But it was like it was as though I could not catch my breath. So in order to do that, I had to like take like extra.
Okay, so when
It's hard to. It's really hard to describe. I tried to do it with the doctor like 14 times.
I
last
get
week.
it. So like, do you find that it doesn't So do you find that it happens more once you thought about it Like, do you find that you'll be sitting there without even thinking about it, and then out of nowhere you'll be like, oh, I couldn't catch that breath, and now you can't catch the next breath and the next breath?
It would be like that. Like,
You know,
it's like if you're running up and down on a basketball court, right?
I'd
And then you
say-
stop for a second, you like lean over with your knees. You're trying to like,
Well, no, I'm fully aware on the basketball court.
Well, but what I'm
I'm
saying-
never able to.
no,
I'm fully aware of that.
but what I'm saying is like when you finally do catch your breath and you're able to like kind of like breathe normally again and start.
You
going
mean
up
when
and
I
down the court.
stop playing basketball? Like, no, it's not. Like when I
that.
lay on the
It's
bench
that.
for 12 minutes.
Because like when you complete a yawn, you start to yawn, you open your mouth and you catch the breath.
I have
and
that
you-
from time to time.
Yeah, but it's not from time to time. That's the problem. It's less now, but it's not. It was like
I have a
good
theory.
portion of the day.
I have a theory.
well,
that
let's hear
may-
it because the doctors couldn't have no damn theories.
Well-
They thought, oh, maybe you have asthma. Oh, never mind, you don't have asthma.
I don't
Okay,
think
well,
I
what do
don't
you
think
have?
it's asthma. I think it's honestly.
not.
I
Check it.
believe it's. I know you don't want to hear it, but my thought is that it's probably
We've been through this
more than
100
any,
times.
more
It's
than
not anxiety.
No, I truly believe it's more mental. It is. Because
My man.
think about okay, so here's my question. Do you ever
It's also physical.
while you're sleeping, right? Do you ever wake up with that gasp for air?
I've had it a few times.
Like do you have sleep apnea?
No, because I'm awake most of the day.
No, what I'm saying is, yeah, I get it, but there's also that too. So like do you find yourself like what do they call it? Do you like skip a breath while you're sleeping?
This is not something that happens daily when I'm in.
But I'm saying sometimes
But there have been
has
times-
that occurred while you sleep?
I don't know if that's what it was, but
I think
it's just the same issue that I
have you
experienced.
have you talked to about the doctor that specific thing?
I've told him about everything.
Like even while you sleep that
I went to the doctor 20 times from
no,
July last
I remember
year.
I remember
till
but
now.
I just was wondering, I don't know if I'd ever asked if it was like a sleep thing. Okay.
It occurs in the sleep occasionally, but it's not like something that. So that's why I don't think it's just a mental thing. Because if I'm asleep and it still happens like that, and then I have a hard time getting back to sleep for like the next hour because I'm trying to like do that. You know what I mean? I don't know what it is, but it's fucked up.
they
But it's
can't-
better now than it was. So
All right,
as long
well,
as it continues
no, that's
to
good.
progress,
That's good. I was
you
just
know?
wondering, kind of about that, but
I don't know. I feel like it was like a shock to my lungs when there was no more smoke going in them.
like
If you smoke cigarettes for 12 years, your body has some kind of dependency on the nicotine, on the whatever tobacco is in there. And then if you stop, which I did pretty suddenly, I didn't really wean myself off. I just kind of was like,
cold
fuck
turkey.
this. So I think like there was some kind of shock to the system there, And it's like maybe I don't know if it's like withdrawal symptoms per se, but I think it's like some kind of extended withdrawal in a way.
I mean, listen, I even have some days like that. I'll be like, yo, but I attribute it to certain things like for me personally, I know that my posture is not great, and you don't have great posture either.
I do try to make it a point to sit up for
Yeah.
at least an hour
Well,
on a shift.
I will say that that could possibly be a thing.
Yeah, but everybody does that, man.
No, I know, but like
mad people work from home
So
now.
here's my reasoning. I know, but
My biggest thing
do you
was
know how many
this.
people probably have experienced this?
My biggest thing was that none of the doctors, the pulmonologist, the regular doctor, like nobody, they didn't really have many cases like this that they're familiar with.
My thought is I know you don't, but like that's why I feel like I experience it sometimes, right? Like I feel like the reasoning I don't is because, and this is probably getting too far into the podcast, but like I feel like posture is
Do you
a
have the
big
time
thing.
started?
Posture is important, right?
is.
Posture is very important, and I think what happens is when you sit like this in a like sedentary way, like I feel like.
But I had an office job for 8 years now.
You're doing like a, but I mean just in general, like I think at a certain age, things come to a head. It's not going to show.
I appreciate your theories, but I don't think you're going to be able to tell me anything that the
no. But
doctors
think about
weren't
like
able to,
when you're
you know?
younger, things don't show their faces much as at a certain age of doing this for so long, your body's finally like, all right, dude, this is. So my theory on
And I wasn't even super sedentary. For like the 3 months leading up to when this started, I was like deep in my workout shit, stretching every day.
it could probably be the cold turkey thing. Also, why do they call it cold turkey? Like, what's the point? Why would you say I quit that cold turkey?
I don't know. I mean, would they rather have warm turkey? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, but
Does it depend on if you're eating a sandwich?
Can you Google what the background of?
Dude, we do this all the time. I tell you.
But we've never
one day
talked.
we're
We've
gonna
never
have
talked cold turkey.
One day we're gonna have this fucking origins podcast, and it's gonna be
Maybe-
the most
may-
successful thing we do.
Maybe so. Because like this is one we haven't talked about. Like, the fuck does cold turkey got to do with quitting things?
Cold turkey refers to the abrupt cessation of a substance-dependent and resulting unpleasant experience, as opposed to gradually easing the process through reduction over time or by using replacement medication. Okay, it doesn't tell me where it came from.
Yeah, because I mean, I would really be curious to see why isn't it like cold ham or
Cold turkey origin.
lukewarm roast beef? I mean, why is it not?
The phrase "taking cold turkey" has also been reported during the 1920s as slang for pleading guilty. The term is also attributed to.
Oh, don't worry, he's gonna cold turkey it, boss. Don't worry about it, eh?
The term is also attributed to piloerection or goosebumps that occurs with abrupt withdrawal from opioids.
Wait. What is goosebumps?
Oh,
wait,
okay.
no. Stop. I don't care about that.
No, we'll start from the beginning. But
What are goosebumps called?
Piloerection.
So I got pilo erections all over my body when like things give me.
But this is like a full circle.
I got
okay?
little erections all over my arm.
or goosebumps that occurs with abrupt withdrawal from opioids, which resembles the skin of a plucked refrigerated turkey.
So that is what our goosebumps look like. But I like the idea that they're called pilo erections, though. Dude, stop! You're giving me pilo erections.
Pause.
Can you imagine?
All of the ways.
And what if in like those really like those porn books that women like to read, those Harlequin romance?
Don't
What if they
tell
were
me.
like, and the way he stared at her gave her pilo erections?
I'm telling you, man. Whenever I've looked up like the origin of a phrase,
It doesn't make any sense.
There's 900,000. We will have the most easy and successful pod. Don't take that from us of all time.
We could just like, you know, we've added one show, we can add another.
Yeah, we do some Patreon related things
What
again.
is this cat? Whose fucking cat is this?
That's a fat ass cat.
Yo, overnight my phone changed my like. So the lock screen was able to be a video, and it was a video of my dog after I washed him, and he would like roll around on the bed like an asshole. And I woke up this morning.
Yeah, to try to get some of that dirt back on him. You know?
Fuck you. I woke up this morning, right? And they changed it. And now it's just random pictures of other pets and nature. Like randomly. Whose bitch ass cat was that? Fuck that.
Why they got to be a bitch ass cat?
Probably was a
It
bitch.
looked like it might have been a cool cat.
No, he looked mad.
Well, I don't like cats in general. That variety of cat.
Oh, like the Garfield looking cat?
No, like cats that are animals.
All cats are animals.
It's not true.
What? Wait.
Kitty cat can be a slang term, you know?
All right, dude.
You can also be used interjectionally
Give it
as a request, greeting, or farewell. All right. All right, well, let's get to some actual topics. Actually, off of that, why don't you tell us your BBC story?
All right, this is pretty funny, actually. So
Oh, that's not the right one.
I thought you knew the soundboard. Anyway,
Well, I did, and then I stopped using certain other buttons.
So I'm gonna have to go back and look. But so me and Vivi, we're texting something this week. I forget what we were saying, so I'm gonna have to go back and find it. I told her because we're going on vacation on the 1st, right? And that is on a Monday. That being said, me and Adam haven't decided yet if you're getting a pod the day before. But regardless, listen.
We all see.
So just listen real quick. I said we need to book the shuttles to and from the aeropuerto, right? That's the airport for all you non-Spanish speaking folks. Anyway, she said yes.
So does Puerto Rico mean the port of Rico?
I don't know whose Rico is, but I
does
guess
Puerto mean port?
I guess so.
Huh.
Anyway, listen. Yes, I'll BBC do that today. So then on the next text, I was like, BBC ? You might want to watch that one. And for the love of God, bold letters now, don't Google it. Emoji laughing out loud face. So nothing came after that, right? So
Drum roll button is not my favorite.
she goes to brunch with her friend, right? And they're over there chilling, talking about it. And I guess she had gotten that text from me while she was there, and she was telling her girl, she was like, what? She's like, Osama told me not to Google BBC. What does that mean? She's like, I think I'm gonna Google it. She's like, Vivi, I think it means big black cock. right? Now, I took the time in this story to address the fact that her friend said think, but also knew. I was like, she didn't think shit. She knew that shit. She knew it was big back.
She did.
Big BBC only means one thing, and one thing only, and it's not British broadcasting company. Okay.
Well, technically, it's that too.
No, it's not. Okay.
That's like the B definition. You know?
I guarantee you put BBC into the Google.
I'm not doing that.
No, I'm saying.
I'm not trying to fuck up my algorithms.
Hypothetically, if you put BBC into your Google right now, I bet you're not going to get.
I don't know what kind of.
I bet you don't get no news stories.
I don't know what kind of SEOs were worked out with that.
You ain't getting. You ain't getting no news stories. You're gonna see a big black ass cock in your fucking phone.
You probably will actually also get a news story or two
about big black cocks. I don't think that's gonna be anything but
that's the funny thing about it. You
BBC on BBC.
You Google something like that, and you're gonna have like news stories and porn, and that's it.
Yo, BBC on BBC is very hilarious.
There's very rare things that you can Google where you get like porn and news. So that's interesting, you know.
You could Google porn, news porn.
I think that just brings you to like HBO used to have like that naked news shit.
No, I'm pretty sure. If I Google news porn, I'll Google news porn if you Google BBC.
No,
right
no deal.
Come on, dude. Google big back clock on your phone. Why don't you want to put BBC?
If I put it the way that you've been saying it, it's gonna be big black clock. It's like the 5th time.
So I've never seen a big black clock before.
I've never seen a van that big or that gray before.
I mean,
shout out Glenn.
Saying the actual words of BBC is like kind of a tongue twister.
I guess.
Say it.
Big black cock. I don't think you have to say it like with the speed that you're going for, you know?
Well, I'm trying to like say things.
You're trying to just graze over it because you feel uncomfortable.
I don't feel uncomfortable around big black cock.
Well, yeah, Vivi. BBC. Wait, you don't? Well, all right. Learning new things today. BBC means big black cock. So, just in case you were wondering, it's a porn coin term. So, there you go. Forgive us, everybody.
You know what's funny is I was actually asked what BBW meant before, like probably 3-4 years ago.
It's a big, beautiful woman there. You know?
Yeah, all that.
Hey, on that note, Drake had his song. He's like, I love thick women because my aunt, she wrote Equestrian, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Are we really letting him get away with that? How he's talking about he equated thick women to riding a horse.
It's either, there's a couple ways to interpret that. Either he liked his aunt because she was thick, which is weird in a whole nother way. Don't want to get
Well,
there.
he said I used to go to the stables and get the kids to bet me, and I would always ride the stallions whenever she let me. There's a whole lot of pause in there, you know? I know Canadians are different.
I mean, there is a certain type of thick woman that walks kind of like a horse.
Right. But I never equated like, oh, the thickness of that woman is like me when I'm on a horse. It's never been something I thought of.
I don't believe that's what he meant.
He said I would always ride the stallions whenever she let me.
Yes. All right. So back to.
Yeah, I know we got out of hand, but still. All right, so let's talk some basketball shit then. It's playoff time, and we got to make a transition from some of this penis talk somewhere. So,
Trying not to have this joke. Trying not to say this joke.
Say the joke.
Nope, I'm not saying it.
We're here, man.
Draymond versus Sabonis.
Yeah. So, Draymond Green was suspended for mud stomping Sabonis in the chest.
I want to say that I do want to compare this because it happened pretty in terms of timing, pretty close to when Embiid kicked. I don't know who he kicked, but he kicked him right in the gonads, in the ball sack,
In the gonads.
right where the gooch be.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of fucked
Tough
up.
place to get kicked, man.
Yeah, you don't want to get kicked there. It's quite sensitive.
It's got to feel uncomfortable.
Yo, balls are sensitive, dude.
Balls are sensitive, but also even getting kicked in the gooch has got to be
You ever like
very uncomfortable feeling.
have you ever like accidentally like hit yourself in the balls with like I don't know how I did it, but like certain things just happen.
There
to
have
me,
been
right?
times
Like I've for instance,
trying to cross over the basketball. and hit myself
I've
in the
never
nuts,
hit
you know?
myself in the dick with the basketball while trying to cross. Because you suck at playing basketball.
Hey, let me tell you something, man. Fuck you.
How did
all
you
right?
miss the opening between your legs and just slap yourself in the dick? Essentially,
I was in the heat of the
terrible,
moment.
just like now. Anyway,
hey. Fuck. What you
so
talking
wait.
about? Just gonna disrespect my game like that.
No, you ever like? I think I've accidentally like hit my dick with like the belt buckle of like while I was trying to like swing it around. It just came around and just.
Oh, that's not worse.
Dude, it's way.
You hit yourself in the dick with the belt.
The buckle, not like, but like. It's always. Have you
You
ever?
BDSM'd yourself is what you did.
Well, it's better than whatever the fuck you do. Like, oh, I tried to cross over, hit myself in the dick. Oh.
I mean, that's a lot more
And
understandable.
now you got to fall on
There's
the
a lot more
floor.
understandable when you have somebody reaching and trying to smack the ball.
No,
out
dude,
with me.
I've never once.
And
done
I'd rather hit myself in the balls than have somebody's hand graze my dick. That's all I'm saying.
that. What the hell was that? The option?
I'm saying people are trying to steal the ball from you.
When did we talk about that?
What the crossover is a thing that you use when people are trying to steal the ball and you get away from them with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if they're coming at you swatting,
And you're
it's
terrible.
very
at-
possible
and
they're gonna
have
hit you in the dick.
And that, yeah. I was also going to talk about the
talking
fact that when you cross over, only people that are as terrible as you would hit yourself in your own balls with
Now
the
let me
ball.
tell you something. I have blocked many of your shots.
I'm not. But blocking
in
is
the
one.
time that we played basketball.
Blocking is one thing.
I've also
I'm not saying
scored.
block.
I've also done plenty. So
Why
I
are
don't
you
know-
deflecting?
Because
I'm
you over here
talking about
that
the
I suck.
fact that you said when you cross over, there's been times
You
where you
didn't
hit
say-
yourself in the dick with the ball.
No, not times. There's been at least a time. Is what I'm
A
saying.
time is too many times.
And let me tell you,
Okay. One is too many.
you are trashing my game as a whole, not just in my ability to cross over.
Okay, all right.
So check yourself.
I'm gonna trash your game because it's what I've done our whole life. But you really are trash if that's what you've done. There's no way you can be like, oh, my dick.
Then you suck
And then
at,
what? The ball went the other way
so
and they
then
dunked.
you suck at putting your pants on. Is that what you're telling me? You smacked yourself in the dick with your belt buckle. Like how? You know what I mean?
Oh, I was trying to do. I don't know. I was
You thought you were gonna like put the ball in your shirt
I'm
and smack it around
fairly
your back.
certain what I
Say
was-
no and one.
I'm fairly certain what I did was like literally like I think I was cleaning up and I was like.
Oh yeah, it makes a lot of sense when you talk
And
about
it
it.
swang
Mhm.
it like I mean I had the belt here and the buckle was at dick height.
No, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
You know?
No, cool.
Yeah, because you're good.
Word.
Because you're able to
Yeah.
play basketball as well as
Yours
you
makes
say.
a lot more sense than mine.
It's way better than
Anyways,
your shit.
Draymond Green, right?
Look at that guy. He can't even cross over.
So Draymond Green. Now, just to give you a quick background on what happened. They're playing, came down for a rebound. Sabonis on the ground. He like grabs
Well,
Draymond's foot.
Sabonis wasn't even near him. He fell towards him.
Yeah.
Right. So Sabonis was on the other side of the block, and I think he just he fell over somebody.
Sometimes people fall in NBA.
And,
I
like,
don't understand how it really
him
happens.
and Draymond weren't in the from what I seen. Him and Draymond weren't even in contact with each other.
Yeah.
But he fell down.
Well, Draymond was probably like 15 feet
and-
out from the hoop.
No. Well, they were on opposite ends of the basket, right? But still within the paint, and it looked like Sabonis fell towards the Draymond.
Well, there was
When
a
Draymond
shuffle
didn't,
when
I
the
don't think
ball was coming off
Draymond
the
knew he was on the ground, right? Until he grabbed his leg. Now, I'm not going to say it's okay to do what he did, but it kind of is okay to do what he did.
All right.
Not Sabonis, Draymond.
Sabonis grabbed Draymond's foot, and then after Draymond shook him loose, he like stomped him in the chest.
Well, he
mud
didn't,
hole
no,
style.
he didn't.
No.
That's
listen,
not
let
how
me
I
tell you
saw it.
something.
That's not how I saw it.
Any other play, I would let get away
That's
with
not
it,
how I
but
saw that.
Draymond has a history of
That's not
being
how I saw that. I
unnecessarily
apologize. No.
physical.
I agree. He's been. I've said
I don't
it.
think you agree.
No, I agree. I've said he's done fucked up things on the court. This to me was not his fault. So this is my interpretation of it. Let me know if you can agree. So
Probably not.
if you fall towards me, right, and I don't know you're on the ground until like I feel something like, and for some reason Sabonis decided he wanted to wrap Draymond's leg, so he wrapped him at this point. Now Draymond, I think.
Now, mind you, in real time, this is like a 3-second thing, so
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
like he's sitting here
obviously-
thought
no.
about it. Give me your
No,
leg.
well,
and
you
then
don't
he was
know.
like, "Fuck you."
You don't know. They called Sabonis kind of dirty too.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he is.
Like, so he grabbed his leg. Now,
I'm not saying he's
in
blameless
the
in it.
momentum, right? Let's say Draymond doesn't expect him to grab his leg, so he's going towards the other end of the court. So his momentum's facing this way. Okay, when Sabonis grabs his leg, now all he has is one leg to hop on, or where his leg is, he's got to plant. So Maybe
He didn't plan.
no,
That's
he
not what he
planned
did.
it. He didn't. He
didn't plan.
He could have stomped so hard.
He
I would have
stomped
done it. I
on
would have
him.
stomped on his ass.
First of all,
I don't think
I've
he
been in
did. I
situations
disagree.
where my
I
footing.
disagree.
I've been in situations where my
I
footing
disagree.
was.
He didn't
Okay,
do
shut
that.
up. I've been in situations where my footing was fucked up, and I had to like hop away from it, and I didn't have the wherewithal to stomp down.
Whose responsibility is it that?
I'm not saying
it's
that-
not Draymond's responsibility
I'm
to
not
give a
saying
fuck
that-
about Sabonis on the ground when Sabonis is grabbing his leg. I need you to get the fuck off.
I'm not
me
saying that
and
either
for
of
me
them are
not to fall.
blameless. I'm not saying either of them
I
are
don't-
blameless, but Draymond has a history of being overly
Dude.
physical for no reason, on the court and off the court. So even
Oh, I
you
agree.
can't-
But
you
this-
can't let that
that's-
go 100%. If it's
I've
another
already
player,
acknowledged that. I've
No,
acknowledged
you
that.
haven't, because you said, "Oh, I don't believe that. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree. I don't agree.
Not
I
in
don't agree.
this.
I don't agree."
Other one, the other ones I've told you I agree with that. I've said when Draymond's been dirty. This to me wasn't dirty. I don't see it as a dirty play. I just don't. I know he's
Well,
been.
it's fine, but you can watch the video and
I
see.
will watch it.
literally
I'll pull it up
stop
right
down.
now.
Go ahead, do it.
I'll pull it up right fucking now. You fucking ball crosser guy.
Your fucking belt buckle penis. What the hell?
I would feel very bad.
See, now you're a BBP, huh?
Draymond,
Yeah, I gave myself a drum roll.
and Sabonis. Let's see here. All right, so I'm gonna give Adam the chance to.
Nah, but I haven't seen it though. It's not in here. Don't worry.
I was wondering. I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But yeah, dude, I've already stated when I feel like I know there's been plenty dirty plays by him.
I would give anybody else the benefit of the doubt, but he just.
Here you go. All right, so we're gonna take a second and look at this. So they're gonna watch.
Look, dude was dead on the floor.
Okay, look at. So remember, he's over here. He doesn't even. They're nowhere near each other.
They're pretty close to each other.
Well,
then he
I
gets
mean-
knocked down. He grabs his foot, and then boom, he stomped pretty hard on his chest there. Looked like he was trying to break his ribcage in.
I know. I think he could have if he.
That
tried.
shit looked like some WWF
you don't think,
shit.
You don't think if he was truly trying to stomp, do you think that it would have been? Dude got up and was like laughing. Like,
You remember how The Rock used to get you in a corner and he like kick you into your chest until you're on the floor and he start
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
no, I'm
look
true.
kinda
I'm true. No, here's a like an objective question. If he was truly trying to like stomp maliciously, do you think that
It doesn't look like he wasn't in pain afterwards. It looked like he stomped.
but like, dude, I'm saying, do you think that he wouldn't? There would have been way more damage. Draymond Green's a big guy. He's like 6'8", like 2. He's not. And in his later years, he's a little bit heavier. You know what I mean? Like these guys.
He said, "Watch, I get the club. I'm gonna make him stomp."
Okay. Well, I guess it's a matter of opinion. I truly don't think it was as.
I don't think he needed to get
Did
suspended.
you see? Okay, yeah. So that's a good way to go into to segue into the Embiid. Embiid's who was more egregious? Definitely Embiid.
It's hard to. I have to give him the benefit of the doubt to some degree.
Embiid? What benefit of the doubt?
He doesn't have a history of being a dirty.
He has a
fucking
history of
player
being,
like
yeah,
that.
but he has a history of being a immature player.
That's so.
Dude, so you're telling me that his is
I don't think I saw the
Oh.
kick from Embiid.
really?
Yeah.
So would you just
Yes, because I know Draymond's history, man. Unfortunately, when you have a history, it just and it's like recent history. He literally just knocked out dude in fucking practice. Like that shit happened before the season started.
Here you go.
There's just been a very
So now what?
he looked like he was trying to do a retaliation
no,
as well.
but look at no, it's
All
because
these things are-
he stepped over him, but he kicked him in the dick. There's no other way around it, dude. He kicked him straight in his balls.
He doesn't look like he was in pain.
Right, look at right here. That's the worst view ever. Okay, this one. Watch. Look how delayed. There's no way. It's like a video game.
I mean, if somebody's stepping over me,
No.
if Tyronn Lue had the ability,
Okay, all right. Okay, so listen. That being said,
okay, definitely it's egregious, but fine.
whose is worse? Let's just objectively speak about it because we're not going to come to the same agreement for Draymond. But whose is worse?
Well, that's comparing right there. It's
No,
gonna be a difficult
no,
comparison.
we can't. I mean, because we're not like aside from
Both of those.
aside from how you feel about like what I thought about. What do you if you were to look at them both like on real time? Which one would look worse to you?
The one with Embiid looks like it was more intentional.
More intentional or only intentional?
You see what I'm saying? You're not objective with this.
Well, okay, but okay,
It's okay to think Sabonis is a bitch.
Here's
but
why.
it's also
Here's why I don't think that
Draymond is a little.
Here's why you can't
oversteppy
confuse that
sometimes,
with
you know?
Embiid. It's like he felt okay. It's not.
But they were also both.
But there was no momentum, right?
No, but they were both on some shit there, like step overs, intentional disrespect, and when
Step
you do
over,
that,
yeah, but
it's
you're
also
not
intentional
supposed to kick somebody in the dick.
I'm not saying that you were. Both of those are bad.
If he stepped over him and then stepped on him, like that's another story. Like, but I'm saying so. There's not even like a mistaking for Embiid's like momentum took his leg up. There was mad seconds between. He was like, I'm gonna do it now.
Well, as he was putting his balls over his face. I mean,
Get your balls out my face. No,
there's also that.
All right,
it's like when you kill somebody in Call of Duty and then you're gonna squat over their head.
I don't think that they suspended Joel Embiid. Now, what do you
have the same history?
But no. Okay, so that aside, what do you feel about?
They assume malicious intent.
Do you feel there was malicious intent?
No, I'm saying with Draymond, they assume malicious intent when
the
it's a
same
physical
thing
play
for
like
Joel.
that. No, clearly not.
Sabonis has just as much blame in that play as Draymond. In this play, I think that Embiid truly is just that was an yeah. You could be like get off me, but you can't kick at a man's
he
dick.
probably should not have kicked him in the
So
balls.
if Draymond gets suspended, shouldn't Joel? Technically, if we're talking about a fair league, if one's getting suspended for that, the other one who had a malicious intent also shouldn't he get suspended as well? Now this is doesn't matter
NBA
because I don't think he's playing. Joel Embiid I think is out.
Yeah, well,
I think he's out with a knee sprain or something. Kawhi Leonard's out too, and they don't know when he's coming back.
it's a lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries.
One that could have happened on LeBron due to Dylan Brooks.
Dude, Dylan Brooks. All right, listen. I told Adam, and he's like, "Oh, you, whatever." I said that if there's ever a time I'm rooting for LeBron James, it's definitely against Dylan Brooks. Dude's trash. Dude is super trash.
LeBron played on team. What's that one dude's name? That one fucking dirty ass little white guy.
Oh, Dellavedova.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
So
I watched something recently on him that
You
made
read
me
what
respect
yourself?
him a little bit more.
No, fuck that guy.
No, like because then they the series was who they faced in the Golden State, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about how he tried so hard to stop Steph Curry, like he gave his heart. They said that like at the end of the game, he was panting, almost dying, trying to run around the court.
That's great. I would also give my 100%. If you can't do it, then you just suck.
Yeah, but dude,
that
you
doesn't
just
mean
told
you
me you
played
crossed
every
into
dirty play
your
that
own
you could.
dick. There's no way you would do anything against Steph.
There's a
Curry.
reason. I learned why you wear sweatpants mostly now. Because you can't put a belt on without hitting yourself in the dick. Thank you very much.
That
Now,
being said, that was pretty good.
if you're a player in the league and you are matched up to your position and you just can't do it, that sucks. But guess what? That doesn't mean you give the right to be a dirty player. every time you get a
he
chance.
was dirty. That's true. I agree. That's a true statement.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And LeBron, you reap what you sow, buddy.
Do you prefer Dylan Brooks over LeBron James?
I prefer almost everybody over LeBron.
I get it. Okay, but let's remove LeBron from it, right? Let's say this.
How do we do that?
Let's say this is because Dylan Brooks could probably be this. He seems to be like.
Yeah, if he kicked Michael Jordan in the balls, I have a real big
don't
problem
think
with
he
it.
did. But no, like he seems to be disrespectful towards the older players anyway. Like I'd assume he'd probably talk.
He had a lot of shit talking.
I'd assume he talked the same shit to like KD and what I'm saying is, do you think he has any? Has he built the equity in the league of himself to be able to have this liberty to do this type of shit to people who he damn sure should be showing more respect to? And
No, probably not. But I also don't think that that's a problem with the respect thing.
No, I think you're right. You're right. That's true too. But I'm just saying.
Same way that they talk about
those are
rappers,
two
like
different-
you're
those are
supposed to come in here saying I'm the best.
two different
Otherwise, what are you
questions.
doing
Two
here?
different questions. So the first one is more or less. Do you think he's even earned the right to do these types of things?
He's a player in the league and he's in the playoffs.
I get it.
And he's
I
playing.
get it.
And
But
in the round he's in, the first round he's playing.
But it's the people that he's
arguably
doing
the
it
best
to, and
currently in the
also
league.
they're saying that LeBron hasn't had a difficult time against him at all, and like numbers
he's supposed to talk shit.
Numbers wise, yeah, I get it, but there's a difference between talking shit and being blatantly disrespectful to. Because I would like, here's my argument. I don't care if it's LeBron.
You care.
It would be. I really don't.
You care.
I'm just saying.
If it was
could be-
if it was a different
do you
player,
think he would do it
it'd
to
be a different
KD?
story. Probably.
Well, would you feel like he's speaking out of turn to
No, because
KD?
KD likes to shit talk.
No, he doesn't.
He's not so sensitive
I
in
don't
that
think
way.
KD does anymore.
On the court, he's more of a shit talker.
I actually feel like we're gonna see KD retire more and shorter than you expect, and Dame Lillard probably.
Maybe.
I feel like there's like players like that just don't care for how the league has come to be. At
I don't
this
think we
point.
see him retire necessarily though, because I don't think it.
KD.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't like playing ball.
He said he can't see himself being one of those I play forever type of guys.
Yeah,
like-
I mean, he doesn't have to play till he's 40, but
he's been playing
33
for a
right
minute.
now.
Yeah, but he's been
Yeah.
playing for like 15 years now. It's a
So-
long time. If you think about it, 15
Playing
years-
basketball, man. Listen, you want me to play? You want me to do anything until I'm 65? Basketball would be right there if I could do it healthily.
It's hard. That's 65. You're like, oh,
Hey man, listen.
Sonny.
Shout out to Ralph, Dave's dad. He's like the exact example of what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
I do it because I love to do it. It's fun. It's a decompression for me. Like whatever stress I deal with in my regular life and my job, whatever, it doesn't matter. I go on the court and I let that shit go. And that's what basketball has always been for me. So like, that's what it should be for them. I mean, you left the league and you left school and you went to play ball. And I guess after your early teen years, you probably didn't have too much drama to deal with outside of that. So maybe you don't value it as much as you did earlier on in your career or whatever it is. Or
Well,
you look at it like, hey man,
the
look what it
hunger
did
is
for
going to
me.
go away eventually for certain things.
Yeah,
It
but
just does.
It's just a game. Like you run around playing
I know,
at
but
the
I
highest
mean,
level on
even-
the favorite thing to do in your
But
life.
who's to say what kind of ailments these guys deal with in a private manner that we don't know? Like some of these guys may go home like, what
If you want
the
proof that
fuck?
that fire only goes away so much, look at the big three. The league, the big three now. Like the older players who like, oh, I can't play at the NBA level
big
right
three?
now anymore. I can go over here and still play.
Oh, I'm like,
and, you know,
look at
like
which big three are we talking
the big
about?
three organization.
Is that still around?
Yeah, I think so.
You really?
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
There was some interview I was watching with Ice Cube when he was talking about it.
Yeah, where the big three is. Like,
Yeah, in terms of status, it's still a thing, I think. So,
it's a little dirty.
but it's a cool thing. I mean, you know, like you let the older guys kind of come in there and still put on a show for the people who want to watch them, and you know, they still want to play. So why not?
Yeah, but it's hilarious. Like I would assume, like you remember that Family Guy episode where Peter and Lois were high as hell singing, and they thought it was beautiful music. That it was just they were performing the shit out of everything, right?
Well, that's such over exaggeration.
And then, of course, and then
that shit was like they were on PCP. It wasn't like they were on weed.
so then when they expand to the other people's perspective, it's terrible. Like these were a bunch of cracked out.
Yeah, but those games were regularly sold out, and people were coming there to watch.
So
them,
what I'm saying is,
if we can play a competitive, fun game with a few 60-year-olds ourselves, then people who've been in the league in their 50s can still
But
put on a show for you.
what I'm getting at is, it's sad because let's say the big three, for instance, right? Some players still got it; they just ain't in the league no more.
It's a young man's game in NBA.
But there's 6 guys on the court, right? And they
half court.
all in their own heads, they are all playing this game that in their minds they look as graceful and youthful and spry as they once did, right? In their heads. Now there's I don't know how many people in the stands.
I don't think it's completely
I'd
off,
say
though.
there's like I don't know maybe how many people 5,000 people in the stands for the big three.
depends. Some of them are bigger venues.
Well, let's just say you get like 5,000 people there.
if you're in LA, it's probably bigger because
Well, that's not the point. The point is there's 6 people on the court thinking they're doing one thing and it looks a certain way. And on the outside, there's a whole bunch of people watching just 6 old men playing basketball. Now, I don't mean any disrespect, but it's hilarious to think.
this is equivalent to DJ Academics talking about the old heads are dusty looking and broke.
I'm an old head in basketball. What you talking about? Like,
No, but not the same way.
yeah, I am.
You old and you've played basketball, but it's not the same old head in basketball, you know?
Well, if you want to talk about crossovers and not being able to cross over, I mean,
Hey, if you want
apparently-
to talk about like spanking yourself in the dick, like that's cool too. You know?
that's not how that's
That's exactly how it came off.
you might want to pause that one a little bit.
All right, well, let's talk
You
about.
gotta pause it because you talked about.
Okay, yeah,
you said
pause.
spanking dick,
So you spanked yourself in the dick.
but you said it.
So you should technically. Pause.
I gotta pause your statement. I didn't say that weird
Well,
shit,
I didn't do it.
but you said it.
You did it.
Words have meaning, dude. Words have.
All right,
meaning.
let's talk a little bit about some of the other
don't forget.
outside basketball things. Charles Oakley He says that Isaiah Thomas.
That's basketball, though.
Yeah, other outside basketball.
Oh, I
things.
thought you said
not outside of basketball.
Oh, I was like
related to basketball, just not on court things.
So outside the court.
So Charles Oakley had this to say on Isaiah Thomas and his criticality of Michael Jordan over the years.
Is that a word?
I don't know. He came in your city and took your city, and that's why you're really mad. He took over Chicago. And I think he's right on point with that. Because Isaiah...
Is this still the quote?
No. That's,
you got to learn how to start quote and quote. Like, I was like, when is it
I'm not a news
It's almost like Charles Oakley was like, he came in your city, and he took you over your city, and they loved him. And I think
I'm not a news anchor. It's not like in other news.
I know.
Charles Oakley said, and I quote.
There's people listening.
End quote.
You had us all like.
Who's us all? There's 7 people who watch. Anyway.
Well, those 7 people were as confused as I was.
So the sentence ends with he took over Chicago. Okay, that's the end of his quote there.
Full stop.
So I think that's like a pretty poignant statement to make when you're talking about
that beef
Isaiah Thomas.
will never end because
The Michael Jordan team can never go back, and we can never get him back on the team.
There's simple facts, right? There's simple facts.
Yeah,
Michael, probably the pettiest of all pettiest people I've ever met. Like not met, but like Michael Jordan doesn't care about Isaiah.
And Isaiah is the salty.
He only cares about Isaiah when it's a time to like, I'm gonna throw a little dig at him. Oh, we're shooting a documentary on me. We're gonna talk shit about that. Like, it's funny. I guess what people say is like, oh, you didn't have to bring it up, but it's part of the story, right? It's part of the story.
And they filmed all of that shit around it at that time because they knew they were putting this together.
I was watching. He was Isaiah was on Up in Smoke, the podcast with Barnes and Stat Jackson, Mac, whatever. Anyway, Steven Jackson. So he was on there, and they were asking this question, and Isaiah is so butthurt. Pause. That I don't know exactly. I don't think he'll ever get over this. No. He's like, just say sorry, man. You went on there, and if you really meant it, then you stand in it, right? But if you didn't mean it, come and apologize. Well, I guess you got your answer there, Isaiah. He stands in it because he don't like your little ass. Don't nobody like Isaiah Thomas, man.
No.
He is an asshole.
And he's the one who's keeping this alive. Like, it's not like MJ gets on all these fucking platforms and it's like, yeah, fuck Isaiah Thomas. I'll keep him off the dream team again with his bitch ass.
The thing is, when MJ says things like this, it's more amplified because it's MJ. Fine. It's Mike saying it. Fine. So more people are going to see it. So if the problem with that is that when he says it that one time a year, if that, it's replayed for months.
And that, as you said, that's the petty thing.
And months.
Because
remember,
Isaiah's
I took
TV.
offense. And I took offense to that.
But that's what you're saying, the petty thing. That's him just being like, we just keep throwing it at him because Isaiah's on TV all year long talking shit. Like, I'm better than MJ. I've got no. Okay, relax. Just shut up and sit down. And Charles Oakley is, he's just funny. He jumps in there.
You got Oak rise from Mike so bad.
It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And then another controversial statement made by one Kenny Smith. He says, and I quote, LeBron is in my top 10, but he's number 10. Kobe is not in my top 10, end quote. Brian, please say over when you finish talking. It's over.
Over. Was that all you got to say? Over?
It's like, wait, so I got to say over even when the sentence ends with over?
How am I supposed to know it's over when you don't say over, Brian? Over.
So what do you think about that?
I feel like...
you feel like
okay,
he's
so
tripping? I know you're thinking he's tripping.
Firstly, everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? Firstly,
respectfully.
I don't know what Kenny... why he did he justify it by any like supporting statements, like an essay? Did he introduce the topic, give you the 3 reasons why, and then
no, this is like
what you intend to prove? No. And then the first paragraph was it
no, he wasn't giving you a scientific method on this at all.
So he just basically said it and moved on.
I mean, there might be more to the quote, but the quote that this is the quote.
Okay, so
it was taken from whatever context it was in. But you don't need much context around this. This tells you everything you need to know.
So again, everybody's entitled to their opinion. For whatever reason he feels that way. I do think, did he say where LeBron places or just that he's in top 10?
Yeah, he said LeBron is in my top 10, but he's number 10.
Oh, he's number 10.
And Kobe is not in my top 10.
I respect how he went about LeBron because I personally think you're going to say LeBron's going to be probably top 10 at the end of the day for everybody. Some people will have him in their top 5. Some will have him as their first. You know what I mean? Like
Objectively, sure. But even if you have him like number 6, I'm still putting an asterisk around his name.
no, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm saying like objectively, I think it's a safe space to say he's within the top 10 for most people. Okay.
Of all eras, by the way.
Yeah. But
Not just
you
like
but you have to put respect on Kobe Bryant's name.
You do.
I don't know what his justification of it is.
I personally have Kobe over LeBron.
If Kobe didn't win those 2 after Shaq left, right? If Shaq left and Kobe didn't win another one, you have some sort of argument to stand on when you say that maybe he's not in a specific top number of players ever. Okay? Mm-hmm. That being said, he did. He won 2 more. And he's arguably one of the if there was a player that was was maybe not MJ adjacent, but MJ adjacent, okay, who lived 2 apartments over, it's Kobe Bryant. The heart is there, the determination and the drive. These are 3 things that really
and a competitive, the drive. I guess, competitive spirit.
These are the things that set apart MJ from. That's why you can't talk about that with.
That's why LeBron can't be.
He can't mention in that because there's a certain tenacity that comes with it. LeBron has a bravado about him, but there's a
he doesn't have the heart, the competitive spirit.
There's something about what Michael had.
Yeah,
and
there's
Kobe was the closest you're gonna get. No, actually, I take it back. Though he is because Kobe in every way. I hate it. He mimicked Michael's game, which I guess if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it after him.
You're gonna follow the best. Yeah.
There are players like AI whose heart is also at that level. You know, he just didn't. He wasn't able to get over that hump like like these 2 were. But I think you
never put no disrespect on AI's name.
No.
You know?
If AI was Kobe or Mike's height, I think it'd have been a different story. You might have seen him win a championship or 2 over a Tim Duncan or a Kobe Bryant, possibly.
Mike's story is different.
If 01 AI was 6'5", 6'6", instead of the 6 foot or maybe 5'11" he is, there's a chance that he takes that championship away from them and they don't three-peat. Okay, true. But he didn't. But I say this is a long way to say that you have to put the respect on Kobe's name that he deserves. And Kenny is a basketball mind who has many more years of experience in the league, and maybe there's reasons why he decided not to have Kobe in his top 10, but I think he's wrong. Overall, I think wrong.
I personally have Kobe over LeBron.
I'd say the same thing. LeBron is honestly, you're just when it comes down to it, probably the most athletic basketball player we've ever seen. Like he was like a choo-choo train that can dunk.
I don't even know if I want to say this because
I know you don't.
You haven't won any dunk contests, LeBron.
I know you don't like to say that, but he's basically like a choo-choo train that can dunk a basketball.
He is.
You sound like a big choo-choo train.
he's a very well-rounded player.
Most all-around basketball player we've seen, probably
in terms of physical ability.
Yeah, and physical, he's like a fucking freak of nature. He really is.
But there's that drive is just different. Like LeBron, like Mike's story from the beginning is like, I was too small. I went this summer, I put on weight. I wasn't hitting my jump shots at the rate I wanted to. We worked the summer, now my jump shot.
That's why I said it's the mental. Like, it's those intangibles that those 2 held, and Mike had it to the utmost ability.
LeBron's manager had also said, like, there's all the talk about like who's the best and and like who's belongs in the GOAT status, top 10, whatever it is. He's like, and LeBron gets a lot of hate. He's like, but he spent half of his career in the finals. So there's been like some response to that, and it's like, Kobe went to the final 7 times and has 5 rings. There's a higher success rate.
Winning success rate, winning percentage matters.
Yeah.
It matters. It sets you apart.
Kobe was in LA his entire career. Mike was in Chicago his entire career.
It matters.
And those things matter.
It matters.
There's a lot of intangibles
when you start getting to you want to start splitting hairs. This is where you go. Okay. Well, what is LeBron's been to the finals how many times? 10?
I think 9,
4. He's like 4 for 9.
something like that.
He's got 4 championships, right? 2, yeah. So he's 4 for 9, I think. Right. Automatically to me,
10, so.
automatically to me, if you're comparing him to Michael and you say, okay, well, what was Michael in the finals? 6 for 6. Whoa. What are we comparing right now? What are we comparing? And then I seen something the other day that said comparing Michael's trophies to LeBron's, saying that LeBron would need these.
Rookie of the year, defensive player of the year.
He would need a whole bunch of times
couple more
and
MVPs.
whatever's in KD's trophy case to be able to match to Mike.
Yeah.
It's unfucking. It's apples and oranges. You cannot do it.
And that's why I also say like the longevity is the big thing with LeBron, right? The fact that he's able to play at this level.
That longevity is applauded. It's dope.
That's what I'm saying. So the ability for him to play at the level he's playing at for as long as he's done, outstanding, right? You got to give it up to him for that.
Right. Everybody who plays this game would wish that they could play at that level for how long has it been now? 20 years?
Something like that.
Fuck.
That being said,
20 years.
That being said, from the time that MJ was drafted to the time that he retired, let's say with the Bulls, because I don't like to include the Wizards time, but we can include it if you want, whatever. Okay.
Well,
so 13 seasons.
That is a different. That's a different thing to speak about because
no, it's not because
the
amount of time,
it's separate.
I'm saying the amount of seasons that he played and the accolades in that time. Yeah, sure. LeBron is going to be at the top of every list, damn near, but he also played 7 more fucking seasons.
Yeah, I mean, we
important.
can say that you will like if the race is 26 miles, and because I've stopped at this. Of course, if they give you 7 more miles, you win, right? Like
that's what I'm saying. So, like, yes, of course, your numbers of all time are going to be higher in many categories, but if you compare just your 13 seasons to 13 seasons or whatever it is, they're 15 to 15 if you want to include the Washington time. The numbers are pretty fucking obvious. It was like it's indisputable. MJ just accomplished more in a shorter period of time.
We're just in a time where people don't care about what actual facts mean, right? They only care about what they think they should. It's not anymore. Well, let me see the numbers. Oh, the numbers. That men lie, women lie, numbers don't type of thing. It seems weird because people don't care about the numbers, even though the numbers tell the story. Yeah. Right.
This generation picks on everything except besides the stats.
So long story short, Kenny the Jet, you're wrong, but I gotta respect your opinion because you've been around the game a lot.
You've earned the right to have an opinion.
You have the right. But yeah, that's all I got for that.
All right, cool.
And I think with that one, I think it's time to go ahead and say our goodbyes.
You gotta wrap it up. Where are we at?
56.
Yeah, it's a good time to call it a day there. All right, well, thank you everybody for tuning in to episode number 178 of Kasson Avenue. It still feels like it's like a short title, but
it's good.
Yeah,
you just gotta change it everywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like I said in the beginning, if you hadn't done so yet, make sure you get on that shit. Like it and all that. And if you're in the sneaker thing, again, we've been putting these out now. We're on number 4. We'll record that next, and it'll be out Saturday.
We appreciate anybody who's been supporting that as well and giving us those suggestions in the comment box. It really helps us, know what you guys are looking for and what we can improve on. So
clearly, we're working on delivering.
Yeah. I mean? So thank you for those who are actually, going over to that program as well and showing support there. So
yeah, thank you.
We're only going to keep trying to do more for you guys, and we appreciate you.
Yeah. With that being said, catch y'all. We don't know if we'll see you next week.
Yeah,
but maybe.
I got a vacation coming up next Monday, and Sunday we have a party that we have to attend. So we're trying to see how that'll work out. And the week after that, Adam's gonna go learn how to shoot guns and shit. So
yeah,
if we'll let you know on the podcast IG. So if you are following there, check it out. If not, follow us and we'll update you. See you guys.
Word. Peace.